United States sees more tornadoes than anywhere else on Earth, over 1,000 every single year. But in the last decade alone, these storms have killed over 800 Americans and caused billions in damage. What's truly terrifying? They're getting stronger, more unpredictable, and deadlier than ever before. Today, we're counting down the 10 most devastating tornadoes that have ripped through America since 2014. And what you're about to see isn't ancient history. This is happening right now in our backyards, to people just like us. Climate change isn't just making tornadoes more frequent, it's making them behave in ways that are completely rewriting the meteorology textbooks. We're seeing F4 and F5 tornadoes in places they've never occurred before, at times of year that used to be considered safe. In this video, I'll reveal the 10 most catastrophic tornadoes of the last decade, from the recent Missouri and Kentucky outbreak that killed 27 people just months ago, to storms that completely erased entire communities from the map. We'll see real-time footage, hear survivor testimonies, and understand why these modern tornadoes are so much more dangerous than anything we've seen before. And the number one tornado on this list? The footage is so intense, some news stations refuse to air it. Starting our countdown at number 10, and this literally just happened. June 25th, 2025, Largo, Florida. Entire mobile homes lifted off their foundations like toys and slammed back down. What makes this tornado particularly terrifying is how rapidly it developed. Residents went from clear skies to life-threatening conditions in under 10 minutes. In Rancherero Village and Bay Ranch, two manufactured home communities became ground zero. But Florida's recent tornado was just a warm-up for what's been happening across America. Number 9. The outbreak that's still making headlines. May 16th, 2025, across Missouri and Kentucky. This wasn't just one tornado, it was a coordinated assault by nature. The first reports came from Clayton, Missouri, where witnesses watched in horror as a massive funnel cloud touched down in suburbia. Trees that had stood for decades snapped like twigs. Cars became projectiles. But here's what made this outbreak truly unprecedented. The tornado moved directly toward downtown St. Louis, a major metropolitan area. Over 115,000 customers lost power instantly. The National Weather Service issued a rare, particularly dangerous situation warning for over 1 million residents. Then the system continued into Kentucky, where Laurel County experienced what officials called a mass casualty event. 27 people lost their lives across both states. This outbreak proved that tornadoes are no longer just a rural problem. Number 8 takes us to December 10th, 2021, Mayfield, Kentucky. December tornadoes used to be almost unheard of, but climate change has thrown the rulebook out the window. This EF4 tornado struck at 9:27 p.m. when most people were asleep, traveling 165 miles across 4 states. Mayfield was ground zero. The tornado stayed on the ground for over 2 hours, one of the longest track tornadoes in recorded history. When the sun rose, 75% of the town was gone, simply gone. The Mayfield Consumer Products candle factory took a direct hit, while over 100 workers were inside. The building pancaked, trapping dozens. This single tornado killed 57 people in Kentucky alone and redefined what we thought we knew about winter severe weather. Number 7, March 3rd, 2020, Nashville, Tennessee. At 12:23 a.m., an EF3 tornado carved a path of destruction directly through Nashville, including the historic Germantown and East Nashville neighborhoods. What made this tornado particularly devastating wasn't just its strength, it was its timing and location. This tornado hit a major metropolitan area in the middle of the night. 25 people died, including entire families who never had a chance to take shelter. The tornado was 50 yards wide at times, but its damage path extended much further. The economic impact was staggering, over $1.5 billion in damage in a single night. Number 6, March 3rd, 2019, Beauregard, Alabama. This EF4 tornado proved that rural communities are sitting ducks when these monsters strike. The tornado was nearly a mile wide at its peak, with winds exceeding 170 miles per hour. It stayed on the ground for 70 miles. 23 people died, including entire families. What makes this tornado particularly heartbreaking is that many of the victims were in mobile homes, structures that simply cannot withstand EF4 winds. The tornado hit the Lee County area so hard that some communities still haven't fully recovered. This storm highlighted the vulnerability of rural America to these increasingly powerful tornadoes. Number 5, May 20th, 2013, Moore, Oklahoma. Moore, Oklahoma has been hit by tornadoes before, but nothing like this. This EF5 tornado was 1.3 miles wide, with winds reaching 210 miles per hour. For 39 minutes, this monster carved a path of total destruction through suburban Oklahoma. The tornado made a direct hit on Plaza Towers Elementary School. Watch this footage. You can see the moment the tornado engulfs the school. 7 children died, trapped under the rubble. 24 people total lost their lives. But the miracle is that more didn't die. This tornado destroyed over 1,000 homes and caused $2 billion in damage. The fact that Moore has been hit multiple times by violent tornadoes raises serious questions about building codes and community planning in Tornado Alley. Number 4. May 31st, 2013, El Reno, Oklahoma. This tornado broke every record we thought was possible. At its peak, this EF3 tornado was 2.6 miles wide, the widest tornado ever recorded. But here's what made it truly terrifying. It was completely unpredictable. Even experienced storm chasers were caught off guard. The tornado changed direction multiple times, accelerated without warning, and grew to unprecedented size in minutes. Tim Samaras, one of the world's most respected tornado researchers, was killed along with his son and research partner when the tornado suddenly changed course. If a tornado can kill the experts who study them for a living, what chance do the rest of us have? The El Reno tornado redefined how we think about tornado safety and prediction. Number 3. April 27th and 28th, 2014, across the Southeast. This outbreak produced 84 tornadoes across multiple states in just 2 days. What made this outbreak particularly deadly was that it hit densely populated areas across Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Georgia. The Valonia and Mayflower, Arkansas tornadoes were the deadliest, killing 16 people. But it was the sheer number of violent tornadoes that made this outbreak historic. Multiple EF4 tornadoes were on the ground simultaneously. The tornado was so powerful, it debarked trees and moved homes completely off their foundations. The damage survey revealed that some areas experienced winds over 190 miles per hour. This outbreak proved that the Southeast is just as vulnerable to violent tornadoes as the traditional Tornado Alley. Number 2. November 17th, 2013, Washington, Illinois. November tornadoes in Illinois? It should have been impossible, but this EF4 tornado ripped through the heart of Washington, Illinois, destroying over 1,000 homes in a matter of minutes. Watch this incredible footage shot in real time as the tornado approaches. You can see the moment it hits the subdivision. Entire houses just disappear into the vortex. What makes this tornado particularly significant is that it happened so late in the year, in a location that rarely sees violent tornadoes. Climate change is expanding both the geographic range and the seasonal window for these deadly storms. The tornado was captured on dozens of cell phone cameras, giving us unprecedented real-time documentation of an EF4 tornado destroying a modern American suburb. But as devastating as all these tornadoes were, there's one recent outbreak that stands above all others. Number 1. December 10th and 11th, 2021. The outbreak that changed everything. This wasn't just one tornado. It was a coordinated assault by nature that lasted over 24 hours and spawned multiple long-track violent tornadoes across 6 states. But what made this outbreak truly unprecedented was the timing. December tornadoes of this magnitude had never been recorded in modern history. The Mayfield tornado alone traveled 165 miles and stayed on the ground for over 2 hours. But it was just one of multiple violent tornadoes that night. In Bowling Green, Kentucky, another tornado killed 17 people. In Edwardsville, Illinois, an Amazon warehouse was hit, killing 6 workers who were trapped inside. Over 90 people died across 6 states. Entire communities were erased from the map. The outbreak generated over 40 tornado reports and caused billions in damage. What makes this outbreak truly terrifying is what it represents. Climate change has fundamentally altered when and where tornadoes can occur. The old rules no longer apply. December is now tornado season. No place is safe. These 10 tornadoes from just the last decade prove that we're living in a new era of severe weather. The storms are stronger, more unpredictable, and happening in places and times that used to be considered safe. From the recent Missouri and Kentucky outbreak to the historic December 2021 outbreak, each of these events has forced us to rethink everything we thought we knew about tornado safety and preparedness. The good news is that our warning systems are better than ever. Doppler radar, smartphone alerts, and emergency protocols save thousands of lives every year. But technology can only do so much when you're facing 200 miles per hour winds. The real heroes in these stories are the first responders, the neighbors who risk their lives to help strangers, and the communities that refuse to give up. These tornadoes destroy buildings, but they can't destroy the human spirit. Every one of these storms is a reminder that we must always be prepared, always take warnings seriously, and always look out for each other. Because in the face of nature's ultimate fury. We're all we've got. If this video opened your eyes to the increasing threat of tornadoes in America, then you understand why it's so important to stay informed about severe weather. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our coverage of extreme weather events. Because when the next outbreak happens, and it will happen, you'll want to be prepared. Stay safe, stay aware, and remember, when severe weather threatens, take it seriously. Your life could depend on it.